I guess I should have checked to see if my audio was working. Oh, it looks like it is. Thank goodness. Let me get the microphone on. And welcome to live. They say it's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. Had a little bit of celebration with the family, and so now I'm in the shop. I've recently switched out the motor on my bandsaw. So I used to have this little motor right there. And now I've got this motor. So I went from 3/4 horsepower to 2 horsepower. This might be fun. All right, so let's see how it can do on some sycamore. So this guy has a 12-inch resaw capacity, and I think we're going to see how well it can do on those 12 inches. What do you guys think? Who's excited to see? I'm checking on chat here. See, hey, Scooby, thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday to me. Amen. Amen. I agree. All right. So let me get my my jig out so that I can run this through properly. And it's over here. And actually, I should pull it from the other side. That'll be a lot easier. Let me try that again. All right. I've got two different jigs here. One is this one is a ripping jig for the table saw. And this is the jig I use on the bandsaw. So let's get that connected. Try to give you a bit of a better angle here. So you can see what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So I'll get out drill bit and some screws. Might need something deeper than those screws, which I think I will go with. Those are the same size. Those are a little bit longer. Let's try these guys. Use that. And I need to use a Phillips head instead of the other. So my most commonly used bits, I just store right there on some magnets. So it makes it relatively easy. And then sometimes there's still enough magnetic force for the screws that I want to use. And let me grab a drill bit. That is not the drill bits. And you know what? I think I'll use one of these guys. And I'm going to adjust this guy. So that it doesn't go quite as deep, because I want these screws to have some bite still. And that's probably good. All right. So throw that in here. Another year closer to my death. Amen, brother. Thanks for being here, Plywood. And thanks for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder. All right. So let's see if that's enough to get anything going on here. No. I need to go deeper. You know what? I think maybe I will make this a little longer so that there we go. That should allow it to cut deeper into the log without having to cut through everything else. So, or cut through my jig all the way. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, I really miss my old impact driver. This one does not have nearly as much control as my old one had. Can you guys see still? Is that still in frame? I'd like for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, even if it's not the smartest. But oh, still got a little bit of play there. Let's get that. Okay, there we go. That is nice and secure. I'll get some clamps and I'll get my makeshift fence. So my 4-foot level here has 2 different sides. Whoa, why isn't my tracking camera tracking? There we go. Have to leave the party already? Oh, so sorry to see you go, Scoodoobie. My 4-foot level has 2 different sides. This one has a divot in the middle, and this one's flat. So I'm going to try to use the flat one as my makeshift fence. And I'm going to kind of dial this in a little bit as to where exactly I want to position this. Because I want to be sure that my log will actually come through the blade, right? So my log is a little too tall in places. So I need to shave it off enough that I'll be able to turn it. So if I move the log over a little, then it's going to be too tall right here to get through my blade. And if I have this part of the log over here, it's going to be too tall to fit under the bandsaw right there. So I'm going to shave off this section here, and then I'm hoping that I'll be able to flip it over and have enough clearance to get the rest of it. So wish me luck. All right, here we go. Let me get that all positioned. All right. Ooh, that's going to be tough to push. This is a heavy log. All right. Let me get some eye and ear protection. Actually, let me get my eye protection on first. How's that? How does that look? All right, here we go. I miscalculated. See right in here? It's not going to work. Darn it. So what I can do there, though, is shave off some of that there. Do I want to try that? It'd be easiest to take that off with the chainsaw, but I don't really want to use the chainsaw in here. I could take some of that off with a reciprocating saw, but that won't be nearly as easy. What do you guys think? What should I do? Hey, Beard Grooves, thanks for being here. need to tension that up. And let's see, where is my tensioning tool on here? It is right there. See, now I don't remember. Let's see. Whew. All right, I think I need to loosen that. And then will it let me tension? No. If I loosen both. Then will it let me increase the tension? No. Am I going to have to look it up again? All right. I was able to adjust it a little bit there. Oh, that's what I get for trying to use the chainsaw like that. So close. So close. Oh, I feel like I can just about There we go. Pry it off. Excuse me. All right. Now, let's see about cleaning some of this mess up. I think we should be able to get through now. Okay. So let me vacuum some of this up. Let me check in on chat first. Tom, just whack the top of the big hammer. Yeah, or a hatchet, I guess. Whatever works. All right, here's my vacuum hose. Whoa. Gotta be a little careful. I've got this weighted way too far over. Let's see here. I'm trying to vacuum up as much as I can here without tipping this whole thing over, because this sycamore log is heavy enough that it nearly tipped over the whole bandsaw when I was reaching a bit earlier. So I need to be more careful. All right. Here we are. Okay. Here we go. Take two. Okay. Whew. All right, so I had a little bit of difficulty getting the cut aligned again after going through earlier. But once I did, I think I got, I mean, not a particularly straight cut on this side, right? Because I had to kind of back it out and do it a couple of different times. So I've got a little bit of messiness over there. But over here, that actually looks like a decent cut. Let me see if I can give you a view. I mean, I don't know if that's giving you the angle that I'm seeing, but it's a pretty flat cut there. Pretty pleased with that. All right. But now there's a lot of cleanup to do over here. All right. Let me get this guy out of the way. And let me vacuum up a lot of my mess. I think I like having the hose come through the other side. Don't want the hose to get clogged up with all these chunks of bark. So not sure why, but my table is a little bit out of sorts. Twist it around. Is it facing the wrong direction? Apparently it was. All right. Let's see if I removed enough for it to be able to cut this direction now. I think I did. I think I did. All right. All right, I'm going to try to go pretty much straight through the pith. Let's see how that works. Hey, thanks for the birthday wishes, Beatrice. And that looks kind of cool. A little bit of sycamore. Oh. It's amazing how much easier these are to handle after cutting them down. Yeah, it's like there's still too much there for me to just blow away. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, Feisty Butterfly Tarot. What am I doing? I am cutting up some sycamore. So I've got these sycamore logs that, you get cut up. So I am milling them up on my bandsaw with my 2 horsepower motor. So that's what's happening. And I'm going to cut these up into relatively narrow planks. I'm probably doing it wrong, but my understanding is that sycamore does really well when quarter sawn. I'm definitely not an expert on quarter sawing, but we're getting there. So I'm just kind of shoot for 8/4 in thickness, which is basically 2 inches. Okay. Oh, I need to get my other ruler so that I can reference both sides of my level here. My makeshift. All right. So it's 7 3/4. So right about there. All right. Hey, Joe, thanks for being here. Love the hat. Thanks. My wife wanted me to wear it for dinner and pictures, and I thought, why not continue here? So happy birthday to me, right? All right. So let me find my push stick. Where did I put that? Oh, you know what? I put my push sticks back over here. Those should work. There we go. All right. Shop vac and then bandsaw. All right. So I didn't do the greatest on those. I didn't really hold it very close to the fence very well. At first I was, but tapered off quite a bit. As you can see on each of those, they're thicker on this end than they are on that end. And that's just that I wasn't holding them to the fence very, very well. So my bad. But they're cut, right? Hey, Lawrence, thanks for being here. Today is Pelado's birthday? Yeah, I think so. Big hugs. Gonna have a fabulous night. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Feisty Butterfly. Great to see you. Thanks everyone for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, feel free to hit the subscribe button. We do all sorts of different stuff around here, including working with wood, and sometimes we modify our bandsaws, like adding new fence rails, adding new tables, adding new motors, adding new switches, just the normal run-of-the-mill stuff. Hey, good to see you, New Roots. 39, right, Beard Grooves. 39, hilarious. All right. Oh, and here's the, for those of you that didn't see, here's the old motor, 3/4 horsepower. And here's the new 2 horsepower motor. Power. All right, so let's just put you there. And I'm going to move this motor out of the way. This motor is available for sale on Marketplace and Craigslist for anyone who's looking for a 3/4 horsepower Delta motor that actually runs very well. It's just not as powerful as what I wanted. Evening, everyone. We're usually out by now, but I thought it was Pelado's birthday. Yep. Thanks for joining us, New Roots. Appreciate it. Happy birthday. Oh, thanks, Lawrence. Appreciate it. Only 38. Let's not be dramatic. Hilarious. You guys are hilarious. All right. See, I stay young by hefting all this sycamore everywhere. There we go. Yeah, it looks like I didn't cut that one very well either. All right. Let me remove my staging boards here. Ugh. Put those away for the moment. Sometimes I use those for after making a little project to try and pretty up the YouTube thumbnail pictures. All right, we'll just put those over here for right now. Then we'll get the rest of this milled up. All right. Oh, New Roots, you not feeling well? Awesome cutting your own lumber. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Nice resaw action. Been here for a few minutes dealing with an off the bat. Oh no, that's too bad. Hope you start feeling better, New Roots. Bad backs are scary. Yeah. Hey Dale, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. I appreciate the birthday wishes too. Got the dining table finished up today. Couldn't lift it off the work table. Oh. Let's see. What is auto translate changing that to? Dale. Okay. Beer grooves, agree. Be better in a couple days. Happens all the time. Oh, sorry you having to deal with that, man. New and improved motor. Looks like it's really big. Hey, it's running pretty nicely, you know. I was a little concerned when it was cutting, 11 or 12 inches, because it seemed like it was struggling at points as well as the 3/4 horsepower machine had. But especially on that those cuts right there, it's probably closer to a 5 or 6 inch. It was speeding through. Have a disc in your spine that's fused to both hip bones, only about 70% movement. Ooh. All right, man. Take care of yourself. All right, let's get back to milling up this lumber. Here we go. One thing I recognized on this slab that I was going to correct before cutting this slab, but forgot, is that my blade guard is way too high for right now. I had it up super high earlier because of what I was cutting being a lot taller, but now it shouldn't need to be nearly as high as I had it before. There we go. There's no way by advance I could have cut those. I'd have to run slow. Yeah. Happy birthday. You'll enjoy the stream. Hey, thanks, New Roots. Thanks for being here. Design a sled for your bandsaw. What kind of sled, Beard Groups? I have some jigs, but let's see. Joe, Beard, I'm sure I'll catch you this weekend somewhere, likely. TC Roots. Lawrence, good seeing you. Sir, don't want to make a habit of that. Yeah, I definitely want to have that blade guard in the appropriate position when I'm trying to cut things. So it looks like I thought I was doing better. I think I did better on this first one for sure on keeping it to the fence. That last one looks like I kind of bowed it. So let's see if I can do better this time. All right. Yeah, forget what you're doing. As long as you're not forcing it through the blade probably won't matter as much. Yeah. Sycamore, some nice wood. It can be nice chunks of lumber. It looks like I'm getting some sawdust in my pocket. Even some wood chips there. Okay. Is that what it is? Yeah, this is sycamore. Sycamore. Some pretty sick wood. So let's try to lay some of it out for you here. Okay. And I'll just position this over here so this is not a not a butterfly cut here, but it is over here. So that looks pretty cool. And then let me open this stuff up. You can take a look-see on this sycamore as well. What do you guys think? Huh? Not too shabby. think the bandsaw's doing a respectable job. So you kind of see how this extended table is supported just right off of the base there. Let's see, angled cuts on the timber. Feed rate is a tad too fast for the teeth. Yeah, that's probably true. I might be going a little faster than I should. Getting a little excited about the motor being able to cut that quickly. Big Dog, thanks for being here, man. Walking, sounds like you've done a lot of re-sawing. A fair amount here. Howdy, Lawrence. The Big Dog. Bandsaw upgrades have made a massive difference. True, true. To be fair, though, I'm not sure if you were watching way back when I was using the Craftsman bandsaw, because I've got this 12-inch Craftsman that when I first started milling up lumber, I was using this Craftsman, but this only has a 6-inch. Oh, looks like my Band-Aid is coming undone there. This only has a 6-inch resaw capacity and a 1/2 horsepower motor. So it really struggled when I was milling up my cherry wood that's up here. And it actually even struggled on this cedar, but a big part of that was because I didn't have the belt on the motor. I didn't have that tightened enough, or tensioned enough, I guess is a better way to say it. So only got a 9-inch Craftsman. Nice pile of lumber. Well, you want to see a nice pile of lumber, Joe. So let's talk about lumber, right? So we've got that cherry wood there, which was among the first wood that I acquired. I've got a bunch of just construction grade lumber here that I reclaimed from old shipping containers. A little bit of cedar that I reclaimed from the fire pit. So when we moved into this house, there's a bunch of wood by the fire pit, including some cedar. Salvaged that. Some oak that was hardwood floorboards that I salvaged from someone who was throwing it away. Some redwood from an old deck that someone was getting rid of. Back here in this lower section of the pile is from the willow tree that I cut down in the yard. Most of the rest of this is the maple that someone was getting rid of. In the kiln, which I think is pretty much dry now, is a bunch of pear wood that someone was getting rid of. And, oh, gonna need a flashlight. And we continue our quest outside. Oh, so then we've got more wood that still needs to get milled up. More. That's some sycamore that I already milled. And then here's the sycamore has to get milled up and kiln dried. And then over here, the Homeowners Association had a bunch of landscapers in. From the fires in Oregon, and so haven't really wanted to be adding to that lately. So so that's the lumber that I've milled so far, and the lumber that I have yet to mill. So if anyone's in the area and needs a little bit of lumber, let me know. Might be able to hook you up. All right. Oh, that away. Okay. I can always resaw for you. You're awesome, Joe. True. Joe is awesome. Let's see. Found it that it's useful to use the largest deep blade that your wheel crown will accommodate for resawing. Run a 1-inch blade with 3 TPI to get the cleanest straight resaw on my saw. So this saw is technically supposed to be capable of, I think, a 1/2-inch blade. Let me look here. No, a 3/4-inch blade. And the guy that I bought it from, he included a 3/8-inch blade when I got it from him, but the 3/8-inch blade that he included, I think it's a 3 or 4 TPI, which is fine, but the teeth are not nearly as aggressive as on this blade. So you can see those are some aggressive teeth, right? And it's just a 2 TPI. It's just 2 teeth per inch. And the blade I got from him is, I think, 3 TPI. And the teeth are just not nearly as aggressive. So they don't clear out nearly as much sawdust as this one. So this is a 3/4-inch blade. This is a 1/2-inch blade, but it clears out a lot more sawdust. And with this green sycamore, and pretty much everything that I'm milling up is green wood. And so this 1/2-inch blade cuts through a lot better. The research that I did indicated that with my 14-inch wheel, the largest it's cleared for is the 3/4 inch blade, but especially since it has the 6-inch riser on it, they said the amount of tensioning that you have to do for a 3/4 inch blade, it's not recommended to actually use a 3/4 inch blade on this machine, just because it's not really intended for that much tensioning force for the blade to track and everything. So I'm using a 1/2 inch blade, 2 TPI, aggressive teeth. Aggressive, very aggressive. Very aggressive. Let's see, you have a 3/4 and don't rush at all. Spot on. Yep. Yeah, I rush a little too much. I get a little too excited. I'm like, oh, look at how this is just carving through like butter. Because I see, I don't know if you guys ever watch some of those other late night lives, the guys in who knows what country with huge bandsaws, you know, way bigger than this guy. That you know, they're taking their logs and just running them through real quick. I'm like, I want to be able to do that, but you know, I don't have, you know, what, 3 feet, you know, well, whatever. This is a 14 inch. They probably have a 40-inch bandsaw. All right, let's see. Spot on, Joe. All right, I love hearing from experienced people. Have a nice saw, but haven't used it much yet. Shane lives 4 miles from me. I can manage just over 300 millimeter cut, which I think is around 15 inches in your language. 15-inch resaw, that's nice. You must have a pretty good sized bandsaw. That's a beast, yeah. Just over 11 3/4. Okay, so 11 3/4, that's basically the same as this is a 12-inch resaw capacity. So 1 inch equals 25.4 millimeters. Joe has a Laguna 14, which was a gift, so whatever it can do. So the 14BX, yeah, I'd have to look up that model. I'm not familiar with it off the top of my head. Laguna is not, yeah, that's true. It's easy to do, Pelado. I saw them. Those saws are massive. Yeah. Yeah, I get a little jealous. I won't lie. I'm also getting a little heated here. covered with sweat here. So anyway, I just wanted to take my bandsaw with its new motor for a test drive and celebrate my birthday with you all a little bit. And anyone who hasn't already subscribed or hit the like button or become a member, feel free. Got a new, very old one coming, built in 1914. Sweet. Resaw around 450. That ripped through it. So that'd be like an 18-inch resaw capacity. Yeah, that would be huge. Because yeah, that would cut up to around there. So (18-inch resaw capacity would be to right there. That is a massive log. Huh. Dale, on your machine, how long of a log would you feel comfortable? You know, so I've got this expanded table that I built, which gives me, I think, 44 inches of support, you know, from end to end, from infeed to outfeed. You know, I can have a 2 foot long, you know, nearly a 2 foot long log completely supported on the infeed side and then completely supported on the outfeed side. You know, if it's longer than 2 feet, then it's obviously going to overhang a little bit before I start my cut and after I end my cut. But wondering how long of a log you can support on yours, and especially on this new one, on this 450 millimeter resaw. That's going to be sweet. Awesome. I think I know what kind you're talking about. Huge. 0 safety guards. I feel like some of Jimmy DeRista's stuff. Contemplating cutting a hole on the floor to accommodate it. That is amazing. That's going to be awesome for you. Oh my goodness. All right. Anyone have any questions about this setup or anything? So I think I'm getting close to calling it quits, but it's been a fun birthday, fun live to have with all of you, and appreciate everyone joining in the chat and hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe and hitting all the things, doing all the things. I'd be excited if I could have that. Yep. Big stuff. I'll add an outfeed roller to account for the overhang. I'll cut around 6 foot lengths. Awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, if you're doing 6 foot logs that are 18 inches in diameter, it's pretty massive stuff. Are you going to be turning that stuff that you cut? 6 feet long, 18 inches wide? That's do you have a lathe that could handle that? Hey Lauren, thanks for being here. Have a great weekend too. I'm kind of waiting here for Dale's response. There we go. You're going to love continuing to use that saw. Have a cracking night. Hey, thanks, Dale. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here, and we will catch you next time. Maybe on my next birthday, if not before. Beard Groove says, I'll be happy just to finally get adult-sized tools. Do they only have you with the kid-sized tools, Beard Grooves? Do they not trust you with adult-sized stuff? All right. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.